8 square feet. That is all a 2x4 raised bed gives you. 2 feet wide, 4 feet long. You can reach across it with one arm. Most gardeners would look at that space and plant a single tomato, maybe a pepper next to it, and call it done. And that bed would produce a few pounds of food over the season. Nice, but not meaningful. But 8 square feet, managed as a production system instead of a planting box, can produce 20 to 30 pounds of food across a full season. That is enough fresh vegetables to noticeably reduce your grocery bill for months. The same bed, the same soil, the same sun. The only difference is how the space is used. Most small gardens underperform because crops are chosen for variety instead of output. 1 tomato, 1 pepper, 1 cucumber, a few herbs, 5 different plants all competing for 8 square feet, and none of them producing at full capacity because nothing was selected for yield or timed for continuous production. The system I'm going to show you takes the opposite approach. Every crop earns its space, every square foot is scheduled, and every dimension, ground level and vertical, is used at the same time. Stay to the end, because the harvest math will change how you think about what 8 square feet can actually do. Here is the layout. The 2x4 bed is divided into 2 zones, the back half and the front half. Each zone is 2 feet by 2 feet, or 4 square feet. The back zone is your vertical production wall, and this is where most of the weight comes from. Plant 1 indeterminate tomato in the center, staked or trained up a support at least 5 feet tall. A single well-managed tomato can produce 15 to 25 pounds from roughly 1 square foot of ground space because it grows upward instead of outward. Choose a high-yielding variety, Sun Gold or Sweet Million for continuous cherry tomatoes, or Big Beef for fewer but heavier fruit. Either way, the output per square foot is unmatched by any other vegetable. That leaves 3 square feet still available. On one side, plant a basil about 8 to 10 inches from the stem. It fills the lower canopy, reduces pest pressure through scent disruption, and produces continuous harvest from space that would otherwise go unused. Every time you pinch the stems, it bushes out and produces even more. On the other side, plant pole beans on a vertical string or trellis running alongside the tomato support. They climb alongside the tomato, take almost no ground space, and produce steadily for 8 to 10 weeks once they start bearing. 2 to 3 plants can yield 3 to 6 pounds of beans from essentially zero additional footprint because they are using vertical space, not ground space. That back zone alone, 1 tomato, 1 basil, and a few pole beans, can produce 18 to 31 pounds of food from just 4 square feet. That is the power of vertical growing in a small space. When square footage is limited, height is free. The front zone is where the system becomes significantly more productive. Instead of planting it once, you cycle it 3 times. Wave 1 begins 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost. Sow lettuce across the entire front zone at 2 to 3 inch spacing with radish seeds scattered between them. Radishes are ready in about 25 to 30 days, and you harvest them while the lettuce continues growing as a cut-and-come-again crop. Between the radish harvest and the lettuce harvest, this front zone produces roughly 1 to 2 pounds of food before the back zone tomato has even set its first fruit. You are eating from this bed while the main crop is still getting started. Wave 2 starts as soon as the lettuce bolts. Pull everything the same day. Do not leave bolted plants sitting in the bed taking up space. Add a thin half-inch layer of compost to refresh what the spring crops extracted, and sow bush beans at about 4-inch spacing across the entire front zone. They produce in about 50 to 60 days and yield 1 to 2 pounds from that same space. They also fix nitrogen into the soil while they grow, which feeds the tomato and basil behind them for free. That nitrogen boost is one of the reasons the tomato in the back zone stays productive deep into the season. Wave 3 begins when the beans finish in late summer. Clear the space, refresh the soil with another thin layer of compost, and plant fall greens like lettuce, spinach, or arugula 6 to 8 weeks before your first expected frost. That final cycle produces another half to 1 pound of food as temperatures cool and the back zone tomato wraps up its last harvests. One small section, 3 complete harvest cycles, and a total of roughly 2.5 to 5 pounds of production from space most gardeners use once and leave empty the rest of the season. Now let's add it up. Back zone, 15 to 25 pounds from the tomato, plus 3 to 6 pounds from pole beans, plus continuous basil all season. Front zone, 2.5 to 5 pounds across 3 cycles. That puts your total at roughly 20 to 36 pounds from 8 square feet. Even at the low end, that's over 2 pounds per square foot, far higher than most backyard gardens, which are planted once and sit idle for large parts of the season. This bed never stops producing, but hitting those numbers depends on 3 things most gardeners skip in small spaces. First, consistent watering. A bed this small has very little soil volume and it dries out fast, especially in full sun during summer. Check moisture at 2 to 3 inches deep every day. A small drip line on a morning timer is the best solution. It costs under $15 and eliminates watering as a daily task. Second, feeding between cycles. That half-inch layer of compost between each front zone transition is what keeps the system productive through all 3 waves. Without it, the third wave produces noticeably less because the soil has been feeding crops nonstop for months. 5 minutes of compost between plantings keeps the system running at full capacity. Third, harvesting on time. In a bed this small, every oversized tomato or overripe bean left on the plant has a proportionally larger impact on total output. Pick tomatoes when fully colored. Pick beans when pods are firm, but seeds have not swollen. Pick lettuce leaves at 4 to 5 inches. Timely harvesting keeps every plant in production mode instead of letting it wind down early. And there's one more layer that pushes this system even further, using early season crops before your main plants go in. Most people leave the back zone empty while waiting for warm weather. Instead, you can run a spring pea crop. Peas tolerate cold soil and can be planted at the same time as your first lettuce and radishes, 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost. They climb a temporary trellis, produce pods in late spring, and finish before summer heat arrives. Once harvested, remove the trellis and plant your tomato transplant in the same spot. That adds another 1 to 2 pounds of food from weeks that would otherwise produce nothing. It also improves the soil because peas fix nitrogen, leaving behind nutrients for the tomato that follows. Your tomato goes into nitrogen-rich soil without any additional amendment. With this addition, your total yield pushes into the 22 to 38 pound range from 8 square feet. Spring peas and greens early in the season. Tomatoes, beans, and herbs through summer. Fall greens to finish, every square foot producing, every part of the season used. I built a 2x4 bed along the side of my patio 2 seasons ago, specifically to test this system. First year, it produced 26 pounds of food. Second year, with the spring pea addition and better succession timing, it produced 31 pounds from a bed that cost about $40 to build and takes up less space than a bench. That is not a small garden. That is a food production system that happens to fit in the smallest space most people have available. If you want to see how this same system scales up, watch the 4x8 raised bed layout video next. Same 3-zone structure, same succession logic, twice the footprint and roughly twice the output.